assessing the Fed's next move as recession fears grow. The ongoing banking crisis and recent economic data coming out this week could influence the Fed's decision. That's even as economists bank on the Fed holding interest rates higher for longer. Let's look at the odds of a recession as things stand right now. Joining us with more, Yahoo Finance's Ines Ferre. Hey, Ines.
Hey, Rochelle, that's right. And we hear it all the time. Are we headed towards a recession, especially those wondering how they should position their portfolio? And while the consensus seems to be that we are heading towards a slowdown, whether technically it is a recession or how severe of a recession, that's where you get some differing opinions. Now, one of the traditional definitions of a recession looks for at least 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP growth. And depending on the chart you consult, when it comes to the data, well, the results may vary widely, really. You're looking at factory orders. Those have seen a steady decline since the pandemic highs we saw back in 2021. Then while we look at wage growth, that's still elevated. Indicators of sentiment, those are contradictory. And with low unemployment also indicating a tight labor market, though it has been slowing. And Wall Street's fear gauge, the VIX, that's at one of the lowest points in the year. But then what about the corporate side? What are companies saying? We're in the midst of earnings season right now with really a mixed picture. You've got UPS, a logistics specialist that has spoken about lower volume on declining retail sales. Intel still on the decline, showing weakness in chip demand. But then you've got some bright spots. You had Uber reporting, citing strong demand for rides and food delivery. And big banks, even despite those headlines that we've been hearing of layoffs at Morgan Stanley and other places, they're still saying that they are prepared to weather a possible recession. Now, here's what Citigroup CEO Jane Fraser said during an interview with Yahoo Finance at the Milken Conference. Take a listen.
We do think we are probably heading into a recession at the back end of this year. There is likely to be credit tightening. There's some stresses ahead, commercial real estate and the like, but this should be manageable.
So really, the severity of the recession, that is where you do get some differing opinions. Now, even Federal Reserve economists, they predict a mild recession is likely sometime later this year. Rochelle?
Certainly a lot of different signals to keep track of there as people try and gauge the depth of this recession. Great stuff there. Thank you so much, Ines Ferre.